Eternal blessings. We are back with another video. Before we begin, a couple quick announcements. 7th annual Journey of the Black Addict Conference. Believe it or not, we are what? Today is 22nd, 21st. We are only 11 days away. All right. Again, just to put out there, because I know some people have been reaching out to me about a cutoff date and time. I reiterated that on the previous video. There really isn't a cutoff time, as long as you're paid before you showed up. That's all. As long as you're paid and registered before you show up, I'll work with you. We have enough of space to accommodate, so it's not like there is a cutoff. So you have up until you show up. That's the cutoff period, right? Shit, you could even show up and just pay right when you get there, as long as you're paid before we begin. It's that simple. All right. Again, that's going to go down October 31st. Starts Halloween night. Runs to November 3rd. 31st to the 3rd. It's a 4-day event. We're going to kick it off on Halloween night with the opening graveyard ritual, coffee and donut meet and greet right afterwards. Then we get right into it on Friday and Saturday, 9 to 4 p.m. We're going to have classes and presentations and workshops. We're going to come back in the evening on both nights, Friday and Saturday, to do a group ritual, followed by a group dinner where we all get together, kick it, have a little bit of fun, all that good shit. And then I'll close it out noon to 4 p.m. on Sunday with a question and answer class. All right, so if you want to come and attend live in person, you want to register, you can do that now. Just shoot me an email, khnum19@gmail.com. You could also attend virtually, which is via Zoom. That gives you access to all the classes, workshops, and presentations. It does not give you access to the rituals, because I do not film any of the rituals during the conference. You have to be there to actually participate in them. Now, one other thing I want to address real quick. Some people ask, why don't I film the entire conference, sell it? I don't do that because there's some things, and this is one of them. It's one of those things we want to keep exclusive and personal. So that's why. I get it every year before the conference and after. Can you purchase it? This, that, and the third? No, because special things happen. Certain experiences happen, and we want to keep it like that. It keeps it very personalized, exclusive to the individual. It's like one of them things, just remember back in the day before we had all this technology, like if you went to a party or some great event or some function, and when you told somebody, oh man, you needed to be there, it's one of those type of things. We want to keep it like that. You needed to be there to experience it. All right, so that's the reason why. It's not any particular, sometimes everything isn't about money. Yes, some people, oh man, you can sell it, I'm sure you can make it. Yeah, but it's not about that when it comes to this. All right, so if you want to sign up, shoot me an email, khnum19@gmail.com. I'll send you that info. If you're interested in a spiritual reading or a spiritual consultation, I offer various different readings: Klipothic demonic readings, Santa Muerte readings, Egyptian oracle readings, shadow work readings, which is always an ongoing process. Shadow work reading is a great reading to do, especially if you want to see what's going on, what direction you need to be going in, what's going on currently in your life. It's a great reading to do to point you in the right direction. Deity readings, to see what spirits, gods, goddesses, and demons walk with you. Not to worship them, but to strengthen and further your connection with them as you navigate on the left-hand path in the occult. All right. Or maybe you're just interested in a spiritual consultation. Sometimes people just use a consultation to ask me a bunch of questions. They got a list of questions. Some people use it to focus on something specific going on in their life, or maybe you want to focus on a certain area of the path. You can use it for whatever you decide, all right? Any of the aforementioned, shoot me an email, khnum19@gmail.com, and please include in your email your full weekly availability. Don't just tell me I'm available Wednesday at 3 o'clock. It does not work like that, people. I wish it did. I wish it was that easy for me to book readings. It would make my life a lot easier, in addition to running my own personal business that I do. But unfortunately, it just doesn't work like that. It doesn't coincide with my what I do for a living. Okay, unfortunately. All right. Also, if you want to sign up for classes, the way to sign up for classes that I offer, and I have a bunch going on right now, go to the Primordial Chaos Patreon page at patreon.com /Baniti, Baniti, tier 3. That's the tier you want to join, tier 3. That's going to give you access to the 3 private classes I do every month on Patreon, including the group ritual we do together at the end of the month. Also, keep in mind when you join, it just doesn't give you access from the day you join moving forward. It gives you access to everything in the archives, which is almost going 5 years back. Okay? So again, go to patreon.com/Baniti. You will also see on there, if you go to the page, hit the collection section. When you go to the home page, you'll see it. And if you hit the collection section, you'll see every class that is ongoing right now. They're all labeled and archived. You will see all of them. So it gives you a full list of what kind of classes you can take. You can either join us live when we do it on Zoom. You get an invite when you're a tier 3 member. If you can't attend live, that's why everything is archived. You can take it at your pace, on your time, in accordance with your schedule. So if you're looking for something to really, you want to get on this path and you don't just want to be a person that sits on the sidelines and watches, or an armchair magician, you want to get in the game and actually do work and grow and master yourself on this path, that's what my Patreon page is about. So check it out, patreon.com/Baniti, Baniti. All right, don't forget to check out all the social media pages. On TikTok, I always get this one. More wrong. I know the handle. I gotta write it down because I always forget it. Primordialchaos.com, primordialchaos3.com. But you should Google it; it'll come right up. Primordial Chaos 9 on Instagram, all one word. Primordial Chaos 2 words on Facebook. All right, so that's the best place to go to stay up to date and the latest things that I'm doing. And also don't forget to check out the Primordial Chaos podcast, available on Spotify and all major podcast platforms. All right. I have not forgotten. Somebody emailed me about the Black Magic Essentials second class. I have not forgotten about it. There's just a lot going on. I was trying to get one in before the conference. We might have to reconvene with that afterwards. It's looking like I do have the Black Magic Essentials 101 recorded. I will post that. That will be available to purchase. I just have not gotten around to it. Totally forgot. I'm trying to get to that tonight or tomorrow. That will be available for purchase. You'll pay the same price that people who attended the class, so it's not going to be any different, which is $50, and it's about a 4-hour class, and it's a good class. It'll definitely help you on your path. All right, so let's get into it. You see the title. This comes up a lot. You've heard me talk about this a lot over the years, on and off. It's come up in live YouTube videos. It's come up in classes, so I'm going to address it. Okay, and it's come up recently again in an email. And it varies from young folks to the more experienced folk, but I'll explain in a second. As, I don't care what you want to call it, left-hand path practitioner, occultist, individuals on a path of self-mastery, should we be tolerant of other people's religions, spiritual beliefs, and spiritual choices or spiritual paths that they're on? Should we? The answer is undoubtedly, most definitely, yes. And let me explain. Okay, I get this all the time in conference. This happens a lot with not too very intelligent people, or maybe young people just don't have the wisdom and the experience. Okay? I get young people that'll reach out to me. Yeah, I have these debates with my parents and my grandparents, and I'm trying to get them to see what the occult and left hand. Stop it. Okay? Stop it. You're wasting your time. Stop being ignorant. Stop feeding into the weak parts of your ego. It's foolishness. Especially if you're a person, and some of you watching this, you were probably one of the ones I've talked to if you did a session with me. If you're a young person or a person in general and you're living in your parents' house, I've told you, it's their rules, it's their house. If you don't like it, go get your own place. And until you do, regardless whether you like it or not, you have to follow their rules. It's just the way it is. I always encourage you guys not to create more conflict, not to put yourselves in a more stressful situation. If you're living up under somebody's roof and it's not your place, you have to live by the rules, people. It's not an option. Until you get your own place, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can walk around butt naked, dick slinging, titties out. You can do whatever the hell you want. If you're living with your folks, family, or you have an agreement with somebody, you have to follow the rules. Stop trying to argue with your siblings and your parents and your great-grandparents, trying to impress them with what you know and bash their religion. It's not for everybody. I've told you guys this a million times. Okay? For an example, if you have a grandmother who's up in age, she's elderly, I don't care if she believes in the good ship Jesus. I don't care if she believes in sweet Jesus. Let her have it. Let her take it to the grave. You're not doing anything at this point, at this stage and age in her life. What you're actually doing is creating more trauma and sending her to the grave in a more disheveled mental state. You're not proving anything by trying to convert a 70, 80, 90-year-old woman. What are you proving? Okay? Let her have it. Let her make her transition and let her evolve how she needs to evolve when, quote unquote, she makes that transition spiritually. At that point, that's just something you leave alone. And I've had multiple people I've dealt with this situation over the years, literally with grandparents. Really? You're going to argue and debate with grandparents about the occult and if they're a Christian or not? Who gives a shit? It's a waste of time. It's pointless. Okay? You know that old they say, pick and choose your battles? That's one that you leave that one alone. Now, I want to make this clear. I'm not saying to be docile and take shit from people. The only time you open a can of whoop ass is when somebody's really coming at you the wrong way and you have to set the record straight. That's different. And that shouldn't happen a lot because you should put yourself in the right situations and scenarios where that doesn't give it a chance to happen. But the reality is it can happen, and it does happen occasionally. But that's different. That's what I mean by pick and choose your battles. Pick and choose your battles. That's not a battle you want to start with a grandparent or a father or a sibling. Okay? That's just not something you want to do. Okay? That's a waste of time, people. What are you proving? You're proving absolutely nothing. Another thing that I've talked to some of you, learn to separate your professional, your business, and your work life from your spiritual life. Some of you knuckleheads want to go on the job and talk religion and spirituality. That's not a good, don't recommend it. As mature practitioners of this path, learn to separate your personal and your spiritual life from your work and your business life. I can't stand when people get on the job and tell people their personal business, period. That bothers the shit out of me. Don't tell people what's going on in your house, all your drama and your problems, that too. But the same thing, don't go on the job, wearing a big ass fucking pentagram or, you're doing shit to attract attention to yourself. Okay? Or you want to wear a big Leviathan cross or whatever it is. Of course it's going to bring attention to yourself. Do you have that much of an ego that you even need to go on your job or in your business life or professional life that you have to, what do you need to be, a walk-in occult left-hand path billboard? What do you got to wear black every day and what, goth makeup? And stop, people. It's ridiculous. It's foolishness. Okay? Understand there's a time and a place for everything. Know how to move. We're like chameleons. We can change and adapt to our environment. Not let the environment change us. Remember that we're chameleons. We can adapt and change to the fucking environment. Learn to do that. When you're at work, it's business. It's professional. Leave that stuff at your home. Okay? Look, I've gotten this one too. Yeah, my family. I got people literally who think because they're on the occult and the left-hand path, I know people, that they can't go to a church or attend a function, a family member's graduation or confirmation or a wedding or a baptism. Yes, you can, people. Stop being spooky as fuck. Nothing's going to happen to you if you walk into a Catholic church and attend a baptism. You're not going to fucking burn and disintegrate. How stupid is this shit? I know it's sad to even have a video about this, but the reality is it needs to be addressed. I've never really did a video addressing it as a whole. So it is okay to go to a wedding, a baptism, a confirmation, any type of spiritual event in the church. Nothing's going to happen to you, I promise you. You're not selling yourself out. It doesn't make you less of a person. If you think that in your mind, you're a petty left-hand path occult practitioner. You're very petty. Okay? I can't count how many times, as many years as I've been on this path, I've been to many weddings and baptisms, and I've been to family members' confirmations. What else? You name it. It doesn't mean anything, people. It only means something if you make it mean something. If you create in your mind, oh, it's wrong to do that, how is that different from a Christian that believes if they violate something in the Bible or some of the laws of their religion, they're going to be punished in some foolish way? So you think the same way? So what do you think? You're going to walk into a church and just going to burn and just you're, from the feet to the crown of your head, you're going to ignite in flames? And it goes to prove too that religious shit is bullshit. Because if you're connected to archetypes like Lucifer, Satan, and Iblis, then how come when you walk into the church, nothing happens to you? Did you ever look at it like that? I've had people shake their hands and people connect with you and have intelligent conversation. And guess what? I'm standing in a circle and they have no idea where my mindset is at. We have to be like chameleons, adapt to our environment. We can change, adapt. We can move and flow. I don't care if you have to go to a function at a masjid, a temple, or a church. It is okay. I promise you, nothing will happen. Okay? Stop this spooky bullshit. Okay? So don't worry about if all your friends and your family and even your significant others or your loved ones or your spouse or whatever guess what? They may not ever be on this path, and that's okay. It's okay, I promise you. Okay, stop feeling the need you need to argue, debate, and battle people just to prove your point because you got this false sense of pride and false sense of your ego is overtaking you. Okay? Stop it, please. It's just comical now. It's ridiculous. Okay? So yes, we must be tolerant, with due respect. As long as we're being respected, we must respect other people's beliefs, religions, and spiritual systems. It's just, that's the reality of it. And that's a Luciferian principle, right? A true practice in Luciferian, I want to make this clear, it doesn't mean we agree with everybody's spiritual beliefs or choice. That's not what I'm saying. But it means, yes, we have to be respectful and tolerant as long as they're respectful and tolerant of our spiritual beliefs. Okay? It's not an option. I know, look, I have, just like I'm sure many of you do, I have many friends who are from different spiritual backgrounds, Christian, Muslim, Jew, you name it. And some of them are very good people. They're outside of their spiritual beliefs, they're sound, fundamentally strong people. That's it. Not everybody falls into the category that you've created in your mind. Not every Christian and Muslim and Jew is a bad person, just like not every occult left-hand practitioner is some evil monster. It's the same thing. Because there's stereotypes on both sides of the spectrum. So let's put that to rest. Okay? You must be tolerant. Now look, again, as I said a few minutes ago, occasionally, sometimes people step out of line, get ignorant, and there's a time and a place to open a can of whoop ass and correct people. But you'll know when that situation is. Now, the way to respond to criticism, it's real simple. Because you guys, that this has come up, I've dealt with customers and clients. Well, what's the best way to go about it when your family or this, that, and the third, they don't like your spiritual choice? Real simple. Your example, how you live. Right? You could have a parents or a family. Maybe you got a wife, a husband, and kids, and you know what? They see you're a very productive, successful. Say, oh man, they're good parents to their children. The children are very well kept, educated, sharp. They take care of the house, this, that, and the third. You know what they're gonna say? I may not agree with their spiritual choice, but whatever it is they're doing, they're very successful people in all areas of their life. That's how you respond back, people. By the example you set, how you live and how you carry yourself. That's the answer. Okay? So I that's how I try to conduct myself. In every facet of my life, I try to be successful and the best I can be, whether that's my professional and work life, my family life, my spiritual life, and my recreational and fun life. I tried to be the best in those areas, but I'm also aware that I know all of those things have their own place and time, right? That's what have I said for many years? What is one aspect of magic on this path? Managing your time, right? How many times have you guys heard me say that over the years? And managing your time is not just the amount of it, okay? That's part of it. I talk about that a lot. How do I get so much done in the short amount of time I have in a day, a week, a month, and a year? I'm also talking about how to manage your time, knowing the place and the moment to do certain things. I'm more talking about that now in relationship to the topic of this video. So if I'm at work, I'm not going to go to work with a big-ass Leviathan cross, Mr. T size, Flavor Flav clock size Leviathan cross, because of course I'm going to get a million looks and a million questions. And now I've placed myself into a very stressful situation. I'm not going to bring any of that on the job or in my professional life because it's not the place for it, nor the time. Got it? Real simple. Okay? I'm not going to be at a family dinner. And yes, people, you can go to a family dinner on the holidays. It doesn't make you fucked up. I'm not going to go to a family function. Okay? And sit at a family dinner and, hey, let's talk about Baphomet and Belial and Lucifer and Lilith and the Clip Hop. That's probably not the place and the time for it. When everybody at that table is not an occult practitioner, they could be a Christian, this, that, or the other. Leave it alone. Learn to separate your family life. I'm fortunate. I have good relationship with just about majority of my family. They know my path, but when I go to a family function, it's about family. We don't talk about this shit. They don't care. I don't bring it up. I go to a family function to enjoy the company of family. If you're not mature enough to do that, then I don't know what to tell you. So when family functions come up, family dinners, family get-togethers, holidays, learn to keep it there. That would probably not be the place and time unless somebody wanted to have an intelligent conversation about it. And guess what? If you know you got combative relatives or friends that know you're on this path, and then when you go to certain functions, they like to start in on you, then guess what? You might have to make decisions to not go and not deal with those people and find another alternative. It's that simple. Because I know that's the next question. Well, what if I go to a function, a family event, and I go with that frame of mind? I'm not going there to start anything. I'm not going up there to bring up any conversation in regards to the occult or left-hand back. But I always got this one or two family members that like to nudge me and push me. Then fuck them. You just tell them, say, hey, look, if I can't come to the family function, just keep it about family, then I'm not coming. That's it. But at least you did the right thing. Because if you're just going to be stubborn and go, guess what? That conflict is going to arise in some shape, form, or fashion. I'm at the stage in my life where I ain't got time for that shit. Okay? I don't have time, one, to force people to want to be in my life. And I'd be damn sure if I'm going to waste energy and time arguing over somebody who just wants to start shit for no reason. Okay? One, I don't have the patience for it. Two, I know that I go 0 to 100 real quick. So I don't want to put myself in that situation. So it's very easy to address these things. These are real things. I'm not saying these aren't valid things. You guys, a lot of people over the years, through emails and consultations and conversations, you guys bring this up. So I'm saying it's valid points. What I am saying, though, is I'm not seeing a consistent, correct way to be proactive and respond to this, not be reactive and respond. Because when you just react and that's your response at a pure reaction, 9 out of 10 times that's not going to go well for you people. Okay? This is part of being disciplined on the occult and the left-hand path. And again, I'm not saying be soft, turn another cheek. I just want to be clear on that. That's not what I'm saying. Pick and choose your battles. At all costs, when shit hits the fan, somebody gets stupid, protect yourself, defend yourself, and speak up for yourself. But 9 out of 10 times, the situation rarely ever calls for it. I can tell you at this point, and I'm not comparing myself to anybody else, nor should anybody else. I shouldn't compare. I shouldn't compare myself to anybody else. Vice versa is what I was trying to say. Okay, but that is a foregone conclusion in my life. I don't ever have conflicts with families, friends, fellow business partners, workers, siblings, significant. I don't have any conflict with anybody because I have established a lifestyle where I keep it professional, cordial, and respectful, and everybody respects me. And just about 90% or more of the people I interact with on a daily basis, they're very clear on what my spiritual path is. But they respect me because they just know me as a certain person. I may not really fully get what he does spiritually, but dude, he's a solid dude. On this level, that level, this, that, and the third. So out of the example I set, all they can do is show me respect, and I show it back. That's the solution, people. It's not really that complicated. Trust me when I tell you. All right? So without rambling on and on, I don't want to sound like this is a reprimanding video, but I just thought this is a topic I've never exclusively done a video on. It's come up again recently in a conversation. I said, let me address this real quick once and for all. Have it on the record. Have it archived on the YouTube channel. So now when people ask me this question, I can refer them to this video. Yes, you must be tolerant and respectful of other people's spiritual beliefs and religions, whether you agree with it or not. And as long as they respect you, you respect them. And stop being childish. Okay? So again, if you need to go to a church function and support a family member, I promise you, fire and brimstone won't rain down on you when you walk into church. Actually, I don't want to get into this. A Catholic church is a great place to go to meditate on Lucifer. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. But anyway, you get my point. I just wanted to touch on that. I'm going to wrap it up. I don't want to keep rambling on and on. Other than that, if you need to reach out to me for a spiritual consultation, a reading, if you want to sign up for classes, the direct link to my email address, the direct link to all the social media pages, the direct link to the Primordial Chaos Patreon page to sign up for classes. All of that information is in the description box of this video you're watching right now. Other than that, that's going to do it for me. Infernal blessings. I will see you guys on the next video.